Welcome to Everglades Classroom. I'm your host, Mary, and today I'm very excited because we have some visitors from Treasure Coast Wildlife Center. I'm going to show you some of their adaptations with Miss Ashley, but let's define adaptations first. An adaptation is something physical on an animal or plant that helps it survive in its particular habitat. I have something really cool here to give you an example of an adaptation. So let me just pour them out into my hand. So here is my baby dragonfly. And remember, we're looking for adaptations on all of these animals that we are going to see today. His adaptation is that he is camouflaged to our Everglades Pete. So see how he would actually be able to blend in there? So that helps him hunt and get his food. All right, so now I'm going to turn it over to Miss Ashley, and she's going to talk to you more about some Everglades animals and their adaptations.
Thanks, Mary. So I want to introduce you guys to my friend here, who is Lily. She is a peregrine falcon. Now, we have to talk about what makes her a bird. So if we look at Lily here, what makes her a bird is that she's warm-blooded, she's got a beak, and she's got feathers. So her adaptation for a peregrine falcon is actually going to be her speed. So peregrine falcons hunt other birds, so they have to catch their prey in mid-air. So she's actually the world's fastest animal, clocking in at over 220 miles per hour when she's diving to get her bird. Now, she would actually kill that bird on impact because of how fast she is. So that's her special adaptation. Now, we have to talk about why peregrine falcons were on the endangered species list. So, peregrine falcons were on the endangered species list because of a pesticide called DDT. DDT was used by farmers in order to stop the bugs from destroying their crops, but once the bugs died, the songbirds would go and eat the bugs, and she's eating the songbirds. So peregrine falcons, like Miss Lily here, would eat the songbirds and have the DDT in them, and when she would lay her eggs, her shells for the eggs would come out too thin, and when she'd sit down, they would be crushed, unfortunately. Thankfully, DDT has been banned in the US, so Lily and other birds that were affected by DDT are now having a very healthy incline in population. So I'm going to put Miss Lily away, and we're going to go take a look at the opossum. Alrighty guys, I'm going to introduce you to my friend here, Miss Minnie. She is a opossum, and an opossum is a mammal, so the way we could tell they're mammals is because they're warm-blooded and they're going to have some fur. Now, Minnie here gives live birth, and she's a marsupial, which means that she'll be carrying her babies in her pouch until they're ready to go on their own and explore. Now, the really cool thing with opossums is that they eat ticks, which carry Lyme disease. So Minnie here is helping us by eating the ticks that are around in our environment. So it's really good to see opossums even in your own backyard. Alrighty guys, I'm gonna put Miss Minnie back, and then we're gonna go explore with some gators. Alright guys, we're back with our last animal, the American alligator. This is Miss Irma, and Miss Irma is a reptile because she's got scales and she is cold-blooded, meaning that her body temperature would actually match the temperature of her environment. So when she's cold, she actually has to go sunbathe, and when she's too warm, she just goes underwater just to cool off. Now, there are a couple of cool adaptations that come with alligators. Did you know that it takes about 20 to 30 minutes for an alligator to pop up for air? They can hold their breath for that long, even up to 24 hours if they absolutely need to. Now, there's also a scale that covers her ear, and that helps the ear canal stay nice and dry when she goes underwater, so that there's no water coming through her ear canal. We don't want any ear infections. And she also has a nictitating membrane, which is actually a third eyelid. So when she goes to blink, you probably see the eyelid first before you see the two regular eyelids come together. And those are gonna act like goggles for when she's underwater, and they're also gonna be protective gear if anything were to come her way. There's nothing going to harm her eyes, thankfully. Now you have to kind of think about feeding wildlife. When it comes to feeding wildlife, we don't want to do that at all. It's actually really important that we just let them hunt on their own, because when we feed wildlife like Miss Irma here, our food is perfect for us, but it's actually not good for them. It can harm their digestive system and it can end up killing them, and that's not what we want to do. We want to keep the habitat and the environment nice and healthy by keeping these guys healthy and away from our personal food. Now, that's going to be it for Miss Irma and I, so we're going to take it back to Miss Mary. I'll see you guys next time.
Thanks, Ashley, for sharing your friends from Treasure Coast Wildlife Center with us. All of the animals that Ashley brought in today were injured and nursed back to health from the Wildlife Center. They're now used as animal ambassadors. Now that you've learned a little bit more about Everglades animals, we challenge you to create your own. Submit your drawings and you can earn your animal's badge. Until next time, thanks for exploring the Everglades with us.